I welcome you all with love. Today it kind of came across the news about a black college student at University of Virginia, I believe, in a multicultural center, who got up and said, no, in this multicultural center, I feel there's too many white people in the center. You really need to leave to be respectful to me because it's making me uncomfortable. And what was interesting to me is no one, no white people, no black-skinned people, no brown-skinned people, no Asian people, said, this is blatantly racist, what you just said. This is blatantly racist. Judging people by their skin. And I looked at that and I said, that was impressive. So what was impressive about it? Not that she knew what she was necessarily doing and she was being cute, okay, or politically correct in her mind, and being empowered by people being afraid to confront her with her racism because she was black. What goes on when you start to examine racism is racism separates you. I kind of come from a different place with this whole thing. I lived in and worked in central Harlem, a block and a half from Harlem Hospital for 3 years. I worked with black gangs on the south side of Chicago. Being the only white person, we've created a consul, a West African consul to help bring diabetes to prevention programs to people in 6 African countries. Used to being the only white person often in situation. I mean, you walk down the street in Nigeria, it used to be called where we called starving people of Biafra, and everybody looks at you. Okay, but that's not racism. It's like, well, you look a little different. Okay, what I'm saying is, what that college girl was doing was creating a certain hate. See, racism separates you from your heart. It separates you from the other person. And when you're in separation and you don't see a person as human, that's when we move into hate. Now, from a spiritual point of view, it's totally contrary to any spiritual awareness. If we understand we're all one, and we call histavut in the Hebrew, all one, then of course we want to connect to each other and see that oneness. Now, I'm not saying that people do this. When I talked in South Africa, I realized there were 11 different tribes and they didn't really get along with each other. And my own family in my lifetime, not 170 years ago, but in my lifetime, 70 of my family members were killed by the Nazis. Okay, we're talking real hate, we're talking real dehumanization. When I was applying to college, I was told, it's unofficial, there was a 20% limit on accepting Jews to some of the top Ivy League schools. It's like, okay, I get it. I get that there really is racism and anti-Semitism, which is a form of racism. And I also get that I'm really a Levite, a tribe. I have 37 Levite genes, so I'm not really a white Caucasian from Europe, a whole different strain. It doesn't matter. Okay? What matters is, from a spiritual point of view, are we going to be open to our oneness, which is the future of humanity? As Martin Luther King said, and unfortunately he was obviously assassinated, but in 1968, and I was still living in Central Harlem, people were really upset. And what did he say? Don't judge a person by the color of their skin. And that's a very fundamental point. And he had a deep spiritual understanding. Now, I like to just kind of add to it a slightly different way, which is how I operate in the world. I've been in 42 different countries. Is I look to see the love in a person's heart and the light coming out of their eyes. When I feel that love and light, I know it's a safe space. I know that that connection is more readily there. So, as we assess the whole situation in our interaction, doesn't matter skin or religion or nationality, what really matters is how much love is coming out of their heart. Can we make a heart connection with them? How much light is coming out of their eyes? Can we make a light connection with them? And that way, we begin to emphasize the oneness, which is the big spiritual message. We are all one, and at least my work in the world is trying to bring us into more and more oneness. And I bless everybody that we are able to move towards that oneness, that equal vision, seeing the spark of God in everyone. And in that way, we begin to create a world at peace. Blessings to everyone. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Tathyasin. Aho.